It's Cam from Chin Checkers. We back at it again. Want to talk about these fights from this past weekend. Let's start off with the big anticipation. I was really wanted to see what Tyson Fury was going to look like in his return fight. Then the weigh-in happened. You have two grown men picking up each other like they were little kids in the park trying to see who was stronger. Then, before the fight, Tyson Fury kisses this man. Then in the second round, there's a fight out in the crowd. Tyson Fury stops fighting and starts looking at what was going on in the crowd. Then in the fourth round, this dude decides to quit with a smile on his face. I don't think Tyson Fury hit him with anything that was even worth saying that he got hurt with. That's that about that fight. Very disappointing fight. I mean, I hope when Fury comes back in his next fight, he picks a better opponent that actually respects him, because I can tell that this guy, Safai, whatever his name is, really didn't have no respect. I mean, we know Tyson Fury, is a really, funny guy, like to play around and have fun and stuff like that. But still, man, when you get in that ring, man, you can't be playing around like that. The next fight I want to talk to is a fight that I really ain't had no interest in watching, because these two guys, they pretty much duck Guillermo Rigondeaux, but we ain't even going to talk about that. Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares. It started out as a pretty good boxing fight. Then it was just a whole lot of punches being thrown. 2,000 punches being thrown combined with both fighters. And not too much skill being shown in that. A little bit shown in the beginning. Leo Santa Cruz did keep Abner Mares off with him with his jab a lot. And Abner Mares was trying to get to the body, but when he did get to the body, he wasn't sitting down on his punches. So it was like pity-pat punches. So ain't much to really talk about with that. What I do want to talk about, though, is I would like to see Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell Jr. And also want to see Abner Mares versus Jojo Diaz. You guys hit me in the comment section and tell me what y'all think about those two fights possibly being on the same card. I think that would be two great fights, probably better than the fight that these two guys just had recently. Then I want to talk about the Terry Flanagan Maurice Hooker fight. That was on the undercard of the Tyson Fury fight, and that was for the WBO super lightweight title. In that fight, I didn't realize how tall Maurice Hooker was. They have him listed at 5'11", and this man has an 80-inch reach. It looked like he could stand up and scratch his kneecaps without bending over. And he used that reach perfectly pretty much throughout the whole fight. And in the fifth round, he started throwing one, that jab with the right behind it, and it kept Flanagan off of him, and Flanagan was trying to get into that body, and he was getting there, but he wasn't getting there as much as I think he would like to get there. Then in the seventh round, Terry Flanagan got hit with two headbutts that opened up the cuts over his eyes, man. Two headbutts with the cuts. I can make that a hit, man. A one-hit wonder. I could become a one-hit wonder. That's all I really need, man. A one-hit wonder. Two cuts with the headbutts. But nah, back to the fight. But after he got them two headbutts and them cuts in the seventh round, he started going for broke, man. He started unloading a lot of wicked shots on Maurice Hooker, and it started making the fight look a little bit interesting. But then after that, then Maurice started to box and move beautifully and perfectly. But then Terry Flanagan tried to make it a little phone booth fight and trying to get up on the inside. And I was really, really impressed with Maurice Hooker, with the fact with him being a taller fighter and a more rangy fighter, going on the inside and delivering shots back. And I think that did, to me, show that this dude, he got what it takes to be a champion. And I'm not sure, I'm not mistaken, my next video, I'll get back to you guys and let you know, but I think they're doing a Super 6 in the junior lightweight, the super lightweight division, or the junior welterweight division, whatever you want to call it. My next video, I'll let you know if they actually going to do something like that. And if they do, I hope Maurice Hooker gets into that tournament. I think that would be great for him, man. Shout out to Texas, man. Dallas, Texas. Y'all got two champions in Maurice Hooker and Errol Spence. The next fight I want to talk about was the Austin Trout and Charlo fight. Now, the people over there were booing that was a bad fight, man. Like, you gotta understand, you have two fighters with two different styles. You got Charlo, who was looking for a power fighter, looking for that knockout early, and you got Trout, who was not just a southpaw, but he's a very awkward southpaw, and he boxes very well. So those two styles, I think, with these two guys fighting each other, the way they was fighting, they was just showing each other a lot of respect. Trout showing Charlo the respect because Charlo got that knockout power and he wasn't trying to go get that B&B. And then you got Charlo respecting Trout, knowing that Trout's a good boxer and a good counter puncher, and it's also real awkward, which made for a real like, some people would say it was a boring fight, but to me, I think it was more of a chess match to see whose style was going to take over the fight. If it wasn't for that knockdown in the 3rd and in the 9th round, the fight to me would have been a lot closer than what it is. I mean, one judge had it tied and the other one had it kind of a wide margin, but I still think Charlo would have won that fight. I wanted to see Charlo box a little bit more to set up some of them power punches that he was trying to throw, but just couldn't get off because he wasn't really trying to box more and use his jab. He was just trying to just take his head off. But I think if Charlo was to go ahead and box a little bit more and use his jab and move a little bit more, that he would be able to get them power punches when he wanted and how he wanted. The last fight I want to talk about now is the Terence Crawford-Jeff Horn fight. And that fight, Terence Crawford came to fight that night. And I want to say shout out to all my skinny, strong dudes. I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start showing up some love and some respect, man. Just because we small and skinny, I can't be pushing us around and overpowering us, man. We gonna push back, man. Stop playing with us, man. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. But Terence Crawford did what Terence Crawford does, man. He went in there and boxed beautifully. And I think the only issue I really had with Jeff Horn was going straight forward, straight back. Straight forward, straight back. When he was coming forward, he wasn't throwing no jab. He was just coming in wild and getting caught with everything Terence Crawford felt like throwing at him. And then when he was going straight back, he was getting caught with everything Terence Crawford felt like throwing at him. I don't think, though, that fight, as a fan, I don't think that fight should have been stopped, because I don't think Terence Crawford was really hitting him with anything that was going to concuss him or anything like that. But to see that the referee stopped it, you could just tell that the fight would have went on any longer. Terence Crawford the same thing would have kept on happening. Yo, I'm about to be out. Check me out. Instagram, ChinChecker7. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so when I put out my videos, you guys can get it. Peace.